Racecraft is the ability to fight for position, to fight side by side, to position your car in a way that you can attack well, that you can defend well, and that you can win races, that you can deal very well with race starts without becoming overwhelmed and having the right focus and having the right technique to position your car. This video is a compilation of Racecraft analysis with many of my students that were participating in the Motor Racing Academy special events and league races. The objective here is not to say who's at fault, but help both drivers improve their racecraft by telling them what they could do better to avoid those crashes or to have better outcomes in these fights. I hope you enjoy it. Chat, what do you think? Blue? Wow. So you all believe it's blue. Watch this. You still think it's blue? Now someone's starting to think. Look, I'm gonna say that the white car is going more to the right than the blue car is going to the left. Look at the direction the white car is going right now, frame by frame. Where is he pointed at? Right now, where is he pointed at? I always put myself in two perspectives. The first perspective is, as a racing driver, what could I have done different to prevent the accident? Then I have the perspective of the steward. Who should I penalize? If I was driving the white car, I would have gone straight through the grass and I would go back slowly. I would not have turned. Yeah, the track goes left and like as the car on the, as the white car. Oh man, that's so close. I wouldn't penalize anyone here. Honestly, as a steward, I would not penalize anyone here. There was such a abrupt movement from the white car to the right. I know he's trying to come back. Honestly, I love not being a steward. I love being a racing driver because being a race driver, I've been in situations like that in real life as well, being on the grass. I was going back very slowly and getting the grass, making sure that I'm not pit maneuvering myself if there is someone on the inside. Because the problem is here, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Both drivers ended their races. And what you want is to prevent this from happening in the first place instead of just trying to deem who is at fault. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, the car was just light. Yeah, the car was just very light. You get hit, and now, like, you try to correct a little bit, but the car already has all the weight on the front tires. So, yeah, definitely not intentional, but a very unfortunate change of directions. Literally. I think you went, Bardia, you went a little bit too wide here because right here, the problem is you not using all the track here. Like you're fighting for position and you're leaving all this space here in between. And here's the thing. The space that you're leaving here, this offset, let's calculate this offset here. How much is that? Probably like, what, 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters? This gap is the gap that you're losing here. So if you were 2 meters to the right here, you would potentially be 2 meters to the left here because of your whole line would be shifted, right? And if your whole line is shifted and you have 2 meters here, you don't hit the yellow car and the yellow car doesn't hit you back. So I think this all could have been avoided if you gave him a little bit less space here. It's all about how much space you give on the inside that is going to determine how much space you give on the outside. This is a thing. Like, you're here, you're not thinking about the consequence. You're being like, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not going to be fine in 4 seconds. It's not fine if you need those 2 meters there, then you don't leave the 2 meters here. Like, this is the mentality on entry. The more precise your entry is, the more control you have about the exit. Yeah. This was Max Verstappen and Hamilton this weekend. Exactly that. You go to the inside, you try, like blue car tries to dive, but misses the apex and hits the car. So this is 100% the blue's fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, right? Because I want you guys to learn is what could have done differently. And I think the problem is that the blue car was too far to the inside, pointing to the outside of the corner. You want to open up and point more to the inside because he was pointing to the outside here. Look at how much he's pointing to the Marshall post. No, this is not a racing incident. This is a penalty because you didn't get the apex. I mean, don't really consider Formula 1 rules. Like, consider normal motorsports rules. This is definitely a penalty for the blue car. So just bring the car more to the left so that you can have a better line. I think the problem is that the line on entry, this is, you see, we're talking more and more about the same things. If you don't prepare a good entry when fighting for position, if your line is bad on entry, it's gonna be bad on exit. You just don't feel it until it happens. So what you really want to do is prepare as much as you can on entry so that on exit, everything is gonna be normal. And that's the problem, right? Like, if you do it right, you don't really feel the difference because you're not crashing. You just keep living. But when you crash, you don't really know exactly why you did. Well, that's because you didn't use all the track on entry. That's the most important thing in RACECRAFT, is to use as much of the track as possible and leave the least space possible when fighting for position. Big attack. Oh! Okay. Arvid, you want to be a feared racer? Don't show the nose too early. Stay. Then you go. Because that's... Okay, you guys want to see how I made my pass that made me lead the championship in Radical? If I'm champion this year, there's just one round to go. If I'm champion this year, it's because of this move. Again, let's go for it. Was it maybe a little bit too late? But I'm talking about the timing between you showing the nose and starting to brake. If you're going for it, you don't want to let them know that you're going for it. Look. Boom. I'm showing you all this because you don't have to show the car so early. Like, if you want to do a very good surgical dive bomb, show up before he starts braking. You still made the pass though. You still made the pass, I guess. Did you? No. Come on, Tom. You could have gone for the most beautiful 3 wide ever. You didn't go for it. Pedro, too much space. Too much space. Way too much space. And he also gave you way too much space. You guys have to be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so here's the thing. All the Academy members, in these races, I want you guys to be aggressive. And I want you to take these races as a fun opportunity to mess up, to make mistakes, and to punt people, because that's the best way to develop your racecraft and actually to become a safer race. These races don't count for iRating. These races will happen all the time. They don't count for points. These are events for you guys to have fun and to learn. I don't want you to be too careful. I want you to make mistakes. So just be more aggressive. Leave less space. Same thing, man. Like, every time you're going for the inside, you're going too much to the inside. If you're going to the inside, one car, leave one car space, because here you're going like, look at this, your line is absolute shit right now because you decided to go all the way to the inside, and then because of that you put yourself in a dangerous situation. So if you give less space on entry, you have a much better arc and you can have a much better exit, and it's gonna feel easier. Honestly, it feels easier right now. What you're doing makes it more difficult for you. See, all this here, and you even losing the position could have been avoided. See, you turned right, like, for some reason, like here, you start braking, and then you turn right. Just stay. Like, don't give any space and then turn in, get your best exit. Okay, this is the line right here of the defender. This is the line of the attacker. Where you want to be as the attacker is right here. You want to do this. You don't want to do this. Because if you do this, you are destined to push wide and hit. But if you turn in here and you do this line and you apex late, then you're capable of staying on the inside and giving good space and carrying your line. So, like, what you need to do is, it's all about this. You see, we spent 1 hour, maybe 40 minutes analyzing crashes and moves that have not worked. We're always talking about the same thing. Have you guys noticed this? We're always talking about the entry. We're always talking about how much space you gave. Like, my own crash was caused because I gave too much space on entry. Problem is not... yeah, gentleman race, but it's not about respect. Because if you're here, you're actually putting yourself in a safer position to make the pass without contact. And if you do this, you're creating a dangerous situation. So even if you're trying to be respectful or being a gentleman, I don't know if you meant gentleman in that meaning, give less space on entry so that you can have a better control of your line mid-corner. Yeah, being gentle on here is the most dangerous thing you can do on entry. See, I could have brought the car more to the left. I did the same mistake. And then I even tried a little bit to go wide, but that was too late. Now I realized that was too late. I braked more. I know I made a mistake. And I'm like, okay. So I cut this corner and I prevent myself from actually hitting him. But I got a bad exit. So I kind of corrected the mistake, but it was still very bad. And then after that, I just got McMurray'd by Connor. The academy coach. You see, that's... he's showing you guys, like, low-key what to do. No, don't do this. So that's what happened. Ashley. Yeah, I think you just didn't go enough to the inside here. When you turned in, you tried to do a switchback. You braked a little bit too late. You braked too late with the cold tires. Yeah, in a situation like that, man, like when you see that you're getting there, stomp on the brakes and go straight. Like brake and go a little bit straight and then go back to the corner. Because I think as soon as you realize that you're about to hit him, you didn't know exactly what to do. And by doing nothing, that speed kept going. So in a situation like that, you have to do something. You're in charge. You have to be like very actively avoiding a crash. Yeah, this was an interesting one because if you look at me here, look at what I did. So I went from... I did get a little door bang there, but I went to P3. I told you guys already in the race starts lesson on the RACECRAFT checklist that whenever there is a corner to the left like that and there's a lot of people hard braking, any shit that's gonna happen most likely will happen to the right. So being on the outside, you become susceptible to all the shit that's happening on the inside. In this case, it was kind of the opposite because after this crash here, people went to the inside. But still, everyone is going to the right. Everyone is going to the outside. So what I did here... See, I'm going all the way to the outside here. I'm turning in super late. And I'm planning... I know shit's gonna happen. I'm planning to stay on the left now. I go all the way to the left. Trying to carry more speed. I tried to carry a little bit too much speed. And I went too wide. And because of that, I had this contact. Boom. So that was my mistake. To carry too much speed there. Why? I couldn't never... actually predict that there's gonna be a crash there either, so it's a little bit of luck in there. I was quite lucky. I'm not a steward. I'm not a steward. If I was a steward, I would say probably Connor is guilty because he didn't leave enough space on the inside. But as a coach, I'm gonna try to help you become a better driver, right? So as a coach, I think you caused it. There's a few factors that made you cause this crash. First of all, you're leaving a whole car space in between you guys. That kills your entry speed, that kills your line, and that puts you in a vulnerable situation where someone can hit you. Even though I'm saying again, if I'm a steward, I'm penalizing Connor. If I'm a coach, I'm talking to you. How can you avoid this? Because you see, you're stuck. You overslow. Actually, you don't overslow. You slow down, and when you turn in, your car is capable to going all the way to the inside. You're stuck on the inside. You're stuck. And then because of that, you hit the grass. You can't really commit to rotating. And then the natural line after, because you're early apexing so much, your natural line is to go and to be pushed off again. Yeah, at this point, you turned in too early. You're getting spat out of the corner too early. So nothing of this would have happened if you were leaving less space. So you lifted, you hesitated. There's three big problems in this whole thing here. Your first mistake is that you're not using the track here. This corner is flat, and it's only flat if you're alone. If you're with someone, it's not going to be flat. It might even be a little lift, but you have to be using all the track. So here you're leaving a lot of space on the inside. You see? It doesn't look like it from the inside, but you're leaving this much space. And then after that, your second mistake is that your lift was too big. So when you're lifting to do a corner like that, lift to half and then already kind of start pumping just to see if that amount of lifting already made the car point. But what it did was you lifted fully, and as soon as you lifted fully, the car got lots of rotation here. And now the thing is, this guy, the white guy, is expecting you to go all the way to the outside, but your car shoots to the inside and then he hits you. So it is your fault here. See? You need to lift less. You lifted too much, but it's not that only the problem. Also the problem was that you didn't use auto track here, which if you're alone, it gives you mental space to use auto track. But if you're someone fighting with two people, then it's very easy to forget some things. And one of the things that you forgot was to use auto track here. Yeah, you lifted, and then your car went too much to the inside. Yeah, guys, I think your biggest issues here, your most common things, is that you guys are pointing to the corner too early and not making the car rotate. Remember, this corner is 90 degrees. You have to rotate 45 before, so that you rotate 45 on entry, 45 on exit. The problem is that right now here, you're rotating 30, and then you have to do 60 on the exit. The car is not capable of doing it, so you go wide. So just be careful with that. Like, turn in a little bit later so that you get 50% of the workload on entry, 50% of the workload on exit. But not ideal. Not ideal when the leaders are coming. No! You guys remember when I almost died at Barber in real life? That was the same thing. Yeah, you're missing out on a few things here. So, first, why are you getting out of the draft so early? Look, there's half a car of draft to pull you more. And then when you get out too far. So you're getting a lot less draft here. You're getting a lot less speed. We're talking about maybe clearing yourself, by the way, before turn one and not fighting, actually just doing the corner normally. Yeah, you're too far. 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 And then you're clear yourself. You're not benefiting from everything you can benefit. Like here, you're clear. You could have actually turned right, turned left. But you could have cleared yourself early to realize early that you're ahead and just not done the corner here. Like you're over slowing a lot here because of that. So what you could have done, I'm gonna go to me and Connor. So this is Connor following me. Let's see what he does. First thing, you see how late he gets out of the draft, right? Boom. Now, look at how close he stays. And look at how much more speed he gets. Like at this point here, he's not so close because this straight is a little bit curvy, so it can be a little bit dangerous. But you can see how we really forced the side draft. You didn't get killed. You killed yourself. Ah, what happened here? Okay, so, man, turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Like, you turned left here. Look, look. You're going left. And then you overcorrect. And now you're going straight out. Even when you turn back again, now you're probably off the brakes. And you're going wide. And then you get hit. So this is something that I would probably not blame the car on the outside. First, when you start braking, you go diagonally to the inside a little bit too much. You could have braked and stayed close to him, because what matters is the actual turn in point. So like when you start giving space, you're doing this, you're braking like this direction, which makes your turn in point like your corner is as if you have this amount of track, because you're starting to turn from here. What you want to do is, like, even though you're on the inside, he's doing this way, he's going to turn in from there. This is his turning point. What you want to do is, if you go to the inside, you try to go this way and stay here parallel to him, because then when you start turning, you have a much better line, and when you hit the inside, your angle is more to the inside here. But the problem is that by doing this line that he did, you do this, and then when you get here, your car gets pushed wide. So I wouldn't blame him, because you're on the inside. Generally the guy on the inside, especially because you guys are side by side, it's not really like he's giving you lots of space. Like by the time there is contact, your car is going wide. Like he's giving you lots of space here. Like yes, you kind of like turned in from too much to the inside and didn't have a good line, but it's also the commitment to turn left. You start turning left, then you stopped. Oh yeah, so you overcorrected and you lost the rotation, and then you started turning again. But you should have kept turning a lot, like right here. See? You turn, you stop, now you're going straight out. And then when you turn again, you're probably off the brakes, you're understeering, and he hits you. Yeah. So this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. But I would say it's a racing incident. I wouldn't blame anyone because it was bad for you. If I would penalize someone, maybe if he had a crash, it would be your fault. Actually, he went a little bit wide, but it was fine for him. Mistake. Big mistake. Big bad mistake right now. If there's two cars ahead fighting, they're gonna be slow. You don't have anyone besides you. You don't need to be here. You can use all the track. You should use all the track. If you use all the track, your minimum speed into turn one will be so much better. Your exit is going to be so much better. We're talking 20, 25, 30 kilometers per hour more you can carry by using that space that you left there. Then you could have gotten back on power. And by here, you could have passed them. Big mistake here. So this is something. I talk about that so much in the RACECRAFT checklist. So many examples. Because now you're having to fight again. Now you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation because you didn't make the pass from before. You didn't benefit from them fighting. Whenever you start braking, relax your hands. You're turning, right? You're gripping the wheel and you're turning. As soon as you start braking, your hands have to die a little bit. They have to get numb. Because if I'm gonna brake, I brake, relax. I release the brakes, the hands come back. I start brake. Because as soon as you do that, then your car self-corrects and goes straighter. You were turning left and then right, but you were gripping the steering. You didn't let the car help you. The more force feedback, the easier this is. I think starting from 6.5 Newton meter, you can already benefit from this. Whenever you're dive bombing, you have two options. When you dive bomb, you can try to clear yourself and go super wide, super early. Or if you're not sure that you're gonna be clear, that he's still gonna be there, rotate. Stay on the inside so that you can give him the space. I think you are right on the middle in between clearing yourself and not clearing yourself, but he was still there. So he was still there, and then he went wide. This is a tricky one because I think one thing that I can hear, by the way, is that I think you're downshifting too late and the car is not rotating. I think the reason you are not rotating the car as much as the car can do it is because you're downshifting too late. So in those two scenarios, downshifting earlier would have saved you. You're missing rotation, and that's why you're having these contacts, because the car is not responding to what you wanted to do. Yeah.
Sim racing is growing more and more, and it's bringing real-life racers and sim racers together. This is making the competition level rise like I've never seen it before. So if you want to become that competitive, the secret is in the driving technique more than equipment. My professional driving technique course, the Motor Racing Checklist, already has over 3,000 drivers, including real-life drivers and professional esport drivers, just so you know how good it is. I made this course after coaching over 2,000 drivers in one-to-one live sessions, and it contains all the advanced concepts, techniques, and exercises that I've developed with my students over all these years of coaching. It's perfect for any simulator, racing games, and also for real-life drivers wanting to use a simulator to improve their real-life driving technique. This course is about car handling skills, and the goal is to make you find better lap times and consistency. You will learn how to prevent and induce specific behaviors and learn how to feel them earlier so you can predict what's happening with the car with professional precision. By the way, this course has a money-back guarantee with no questions asked. So if you don't improve, you get your money back. And you can join my Discord to read reviews and ask any questions. Join the course now, and I will see you on track.